I wasn't listening to Suzanne. She said record and I did do it. Thank you, Suzanne. I love you. Okay. So we're recording. Okay. So welcome to the higher life. The higher life is where you take everything in your life higher. So you take your joy higher, your confidence higher, your income higher, your influence higher, your relationship satisfaction higher, your health higher. And you do this not because you're not good enough. You do this because the purpose of your life is to maximize your potential in taking everything higher. You do this not because you're not good enough, but because your purpose on the planet is to co-create with your higher power and your highest self and to actualize all of these things in your life. So you're a woman who wants it all. And you want to achieve success based on your definition of success. One thing I've always known as a psychologist, especially in private practice, is everyone's definition of success is really individual. And so I just can't be the cookie cutter kind of coach where I'm going to assume that your level of success is what I think success is. We're going to figure out what your definition of success is, and then we're going to figure out the best roadmap to get you there. I have a friend, Heather Olmstead, who I'm just so grateful for. She came to my live event years ago, and she just sent me this recording from Matthew McConaughey. Okay? Do we all love Matthew McConaughey? We do. We love him. And we love his voice. And I'm thinking of signing up for Audible just so that I can listen to his book with his voice. Okay. So, oh my gosh, we love Matthew McConaughey. And he was saying on this motivational speech that you have to define what success means to you. And I've always said this. And so someone might look at my life and say, good Lord, like, you think that's success? Like, that's not how I would define success. Like, you don't spend any of your time doing that, and you spend all your time doing that, and blah, blah, blah. And my husband and I, Garth, we have defined success for our family, for the Oksol legacy in a certain way. And so we live by that definition of success. And here's the thing, if you live for someone else's definition of success, you run the risk of missing your own. And if you hit your own, you might miss the mark of someone else's definition of success. But here's the deal, you hit your own. So some people might look at Garth and I's life and they might say, wow, like, you spend that much money on health and supplements and workouts and your gym. And we're like, yeah, that's like the secret to our success. And we don't think it's hardly anything, right? Or someone might say, you spend how much time doing what? And here's the thing, I can't judge how you spend your time. I can only judge, are you living in alignment with your stated definition of success? So with me, you will never get a cookie cutter approach to what success is. You will get a radically individualized approach of looking at, for you in your lifetime, in your life, between you and your higher power and you and the most important people in your life, what is your definition of success? Okay, so I want you to think of today, we're going to talk about the power of visualization, and we're talking about it in terms of you creating the success story that you want to create in your life. So I want you to first think in your mind's eye, like, what is that for you? I want you to remind yourself that you're going to stay open to changing this success story throughout your life. So 10 years ago, I was not able to even think of or fathom that I would live in Cabo San Lucas with my husband. Okay. I'd never been there. I'd never been on vacation. And I certainly hadn't ever considered the fact that I wouldn't live in America. So I want you to just understand that wherever you deem success right now is you're willing to have that evolve and shift and change. And you're excited to watch that evolve and shift and change. Okay. So really ask yourself, what's your definition of success? For some of us, it's money. I got nothing against money. Okay. Maybe that is you want to have a world-class marriage. Maybe it's you want to be a world-class parent. Maybe it's you want to be a world-class friend. Maybe it's you want to be a world-class giver. Maybe it's you want to be an influencer in your field. Maybe it's you want to be the one that breaks the generational curse around money in your family. I don't know, whatever it is, it's a noble thing. That's your definition of success. Okay. So we're here today to talk about how to utilize our mind and the power of visualization to actually make your dreams a reality. So here's the really good news. If you can hold something in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. This is really deep, and I'm learning a lot more about all of this, especially with the mentors that I'm diving in with. But basically, if the universe is God's mind, so let's say we have God, and then we have God's mind, which is all of God's thoughts. Let's say that's the universe. And let's say you have a thought, like I might have a thought of, I desire to live in Cabo with Garth and work my business from Cabo. Then it would be a fair assumption to believe that if I can hold that thought in my mind, it can become a reality. That thought is from my higher self, that thought is from the universe, that thought, if I can hold it in my mind, can become a reality, like I said. And here's the thing. We know in the universe, there are certain universal laws, and we know this, that we take what's from the spiritual and we bring it into the mental, and then we bring the mental into the physical. So I want you to look around at your house right now, wherever you're sitting, wherever your environment is. And I want you to look at your physical reality as the result of a thought that you had. Let me give you a really clear example. Okay, I think I want to turn this room into my office. It used to be like a playroom. Our kids were little, and there was like those kitchens for children, and they used to bake all their stuff in the kitchens, and that used to be like right over here. And they were like, well, I think, okay, they're done with the kitchens. Let's make it into an office. And oh, I would like a really great desk. And I got this desk picked out by Restoration Hardware, and it is not cheap. Because Restoration Hardware is not cheap. And I don't know why they're not cheap, but they're not cheap. But I want this desk, and it's huge. And it will go here soon. But I want you to understand that this desk that the computer is on is the result of a thought that I had. Oh, we have a desk. Let's bring that desk into this room. Or, okay, we don't have the Restoration Hardware desk yet. So let's go to Office Depot and get a cheap desk and bring it into this room. Okay, great. And this will be my background for the Zoom and blah, blah, blah. So everything you see in your physical reality started with a thought. And the thought comes from your spiritual world. So if I am having the thought, oh, I think I'm meant to live in Cabo. I actually can see my house in Cabo. How did that get there? 2 years ago, I had never been to Cabo. I had never heard of Cabo. I couldn't spell Cabo San Lucas. I didn't know. And we went and we saw it, and all of a sudden this dream was planted in my heart. Oh my good gracious. I would like to live here. And I remember just being filled with the Spirit of God and thinking like, wow, like, yes, 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 yes. We would love to live here. Okay. So if the idea comes from spirit, we bring it into the mental, and then the mental brings in the physical. It is just a matter of time until I live in Cabo San Lucas. So I want, today, the power of visualization, I want you to think about if there has been a dream implanted on your heart, if there has been a vision given to you, that is specifically for you. Not everyone gets a dream to live in Cabo San Lucas. Some get the vision and the dream to live in a cabin in the woods in Montana. Some get the dream and the vision to live in a condo in New York City. Like, why is that? Because we're taking from the spiritual into the mental, into the physical, what it is that we are here to co-create. So the power of visualization, I want you to understand that something we know about the brain is this. The brain does not know when you are actually experiencing something versus when you are visualizing something. It is so bizarre. But if you take little electrodes and hook them up to your brain all over, we will see the same electrical activity in your brain when you are imagining lifting weights and when you are actually lifting weights. Okay. If we look at your brain scan, it shows the same exact thing. Oh, she is whatever. She is lifting. It's the same electrical activity. She is lifting weights. Now, if you're imagining lifting weights, you are not going to get the same results as if you are actually lifting weights. But I know, wah, wah. But the point is, the brain does not know whether you are imagining it or whether it's actually happening. Okay, so if that is the case, then I have the best news ever, ever, ever for you. I want you to spend 5 minutes every day of your life imagining your dream life. Everything has come to fruition of what you're trying to build. I want you to spend 5 minutes every day there. I want you to experience it from inside your body. That will like supercharge your visualization versus witnessing yourself like you're in a movie. I want you to experience it from inside your body, like looking throughout your eyes. So actually, as if you're experiencing it, you're looking around and you're like, wow, wow. Oh, she's here. Oh, he's here. Oh, yeah. Okay. And oh, okay. Got it. And I want you to visualize that. The brain doesn't know that it's happening or not. And here's the greatest thing in the world that your brain is going to do for you. The brain is going to take a snapshot of that, store it as a memory in your brain, and then go about getting busy on making it happen. Is that not the most amazing gift you can ever experience from the universe? If you can visualize something, your brain is going to store it as a memory and then go about making it happen. It doesn't know how not to do that. It doesn't know how not to do that. So lots of other things that are wonderful happen when you start visualizing. It opens up your peripheral field. It opens up your awareness of other people that are conspiring to help you create your dream. It opens up your the synchronicities, the coincidences, all the things, right? So last year we go to Cabo and we're like, we want to live in Cabo. So we see this guy who's sitting at the timeshare booth. And we're like, I don't really want to talk to the timeshare booth guy, but we went up to Greg. We realized his name is Greg. Greg is actually just a realtor in Cabo. Greg is like, I can take you around if you want to like go on Thursday. I can take you around to look at all the places here in Cabo. I'm like, absolutely, because I know the power of visualization. So last year we spent an hour with Greg in his little car driving to the houses, and I would walk in the houses and I would visualize myself living in this house in Cabo. And I would imagine myself calling my team and calling my friends. And if you were in my life back then, I'd be like, Kara, oh my God, Kara, We're like 30 feet from the ocean. Kara, what do you want me to make you when you visit me? Do you want avocado, chips, salsa? What do you want when you come? Like, I would imagine myself hosting you. Suzanne, okay, I got the bed upstairs. And then how long do you want to stay? Okay, great. So Suzanne, I'm going to meet you at the airport and then we're going to go here. And Garth and I would visualize like us bringing down the lunch to the beach, to the blah, blah, blah. Okay. And our realtor would bring us through these houses. And I knew at the time I didn't have the money to buy the house, but I knew that the visualization was important. And he knows that it's important. And he has stayed in our inbox and our email for the whole year. And every week we get a new, like, this is what you can get in Cabo for, you know, this amount of money. So this week he sends us, this is what you can get in Cabo. We literally showed the children this week, like, this is the place we want to live. Somehow I found the place and I'm like, that's the place we want to live. And I can like literally see myself doing my Zoom calls from this room in this place, from the real estate entry that he has. We will go with him at some point when we're ready. But the brain, if the brain doesn't know whether it's true or not, the brain just goes about getting busy to make it happen. I want you to understand, if you can hold the thought in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. If that doesn't excite you, I don't know what will. And your job is not to figure out necessarily the how. That's God's job. So what we're talking about today in God is Your Guru masterclass. Your job is to hold the vision and to be faithful and to say, okay, got it. I want to live there and God's going to open up that spot for me. And I need to make the money so I can afford the house that God has for me. You know, my job, God's job, my job, God's job. But if there's a vision on your heart, I believe that is from your higher power. And you will have a vision that is not my vision. You'll have a vision that's like, well, my vision has nothing to do with Cabo. My vision is this. You'd be like, oh my gosh, that's not my vision at all. Like, that's so cool. That's your vision. If you can hold it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. So to supercharge your visualization, I want you, again, imagine it from inside your body looking out. I imagine turning the key into my home in Cabo. We did it, Garth. We got here. I imagine opening up the Zoom and saying, oh my gosh, you guys, we got here. I can imagine watching myself plunge into the pool. I can imagine myself at coffee meeting new friends and saying, where are you from? Oh my gosh, we're from here. We had this vision in our mind in 2022, and here we are. Okay. Olympians do this. You know, they do this. You hear about it. Olympians don't just visualize, they do what I call sensualize, and they take visualization kind of the next level. And here's what they do. They use all of their senses. So they imagine, okay, I've run the race. I'm on the gold box where I've won the gold medal. And I imagine, what does it sound like to hear the anthem playing? What do I see when I look for my mom in the stands and she's bawling her eyes out? What do I feel? I feel the gold medal right there. What do I touch? Like they sensualize the whole entire experience. So if you want to kind of kick up your visualization, do it that way. Here's the thing I want you to know. Your part is the dreaming, it's the visualization, and God's part is how it all works out. I don't know exactly where we'll live in Cabo. I don't know exactly when we'll move to Cabo. I don't know exactly who will meet in Cabo. I have learned, let that be God's work. And the concept of that is allow the how. I will dream, I will co-create, I will take aligned action, I will do what I need to do to get me to Cabo. And I will be supported by and trust God to allow the how so much that I will let God work out all the details. There are condos being built right now in Cabo that don't even exist, that are probably where I will live. I don't need to worry about where exactly I'm going to live in Cabo, right? I know that I'm co-creating with my higher power to get there. And that when I do, it's going to be like, whoa, I didn't even know you had this in store. I didn't even know. Because I'm not an architect or an interior designer, and this is like way better than I could have ever imagined, right? My job is to visualize it and take the aligned actions to get there and allow God to support me in fulfilling the mission. So I hope that blesses you. I hope you come to God is My Guru 3-day complimentary masterclass where we're going to talk about the spiritual side of business. And we're going to talk about the nitty gritty of like, how do you actually co-create with your higher power in your business to see the results you want to see. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you here next Monday for Mindset Monday, where we're every Monday live. Thank you for being a part of the higher life. And we'll see you then. Bye.